What's going on, moviegoers? If you're new to the channel, my name is Christian. Welcome to C-Roll Productions. The first episode of the Falcon and Winter Soldier, you guys, hit online this morning, and let me tell you, it did not disappoint. This show is absolutely astounding. We're going to be talking some spoilers, so if you haven't seen this episode, watch the episode, then come back to my channel and let's talk what we all just witnessed in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the first episode. Now, we can all agree that Sam Wilson and Bucky Barnes are two very well-known characters within the MCU. Two characters that really haven't had the story-driven screen time in the past 10 years. I mean, they both were in Winter Soldier. Bucky was in, the first Avenger and, Civil War and, Infinity War and Endgame. But both of these characters have so much backstory in the comic books. I am so happy that Marvel Studios decided to give these characters their own series to really dive deep into the mental of both of these characters. Now, what's so fascinating about this series is they're very different characters, Sam Wilson and Bucky Barnes. Bucky is trying to overcome his past, his tragic past. It is insane of what he has done as the Winter Soldier, all the people he had murdered. And Sam himself is trying to run away from his future. Steve passed him the mantle of becoming the new Captain America. And to come with that shield, the burden that what that shield holds and what it represents, Sam isn't ready for it. So in this episode, we have these two characters who are very divided within, their self-interest and their motives. So what I really loved so much about this series so far is the character development and the emotional capacity that the story has really driven on, both of these characters. I mean, like I said before, Bucky, having these flashbacks of him as the Winter Soldier and him killing people and him trying to overcome 90 years of this massacre that he's had to, that Hydra installed in his brain. So Bucky's trying to overcome that while trying to, find his place in modern time. It's a struggle within, him, getting rid of the past and embracing the future. And, with Sam, it's a tricky situation becoming, the new Captain America. You know what I mean? Because that image, the burden of what Captain America had, had on him for the course of his tenure of the MCU, Sam isn't really ready for that. It's a roller coaster ride. It's hard. And are people ready to see a black Captain America? That's a huge question. And I feel like they're going to dive deep into that and that political aspect of the show later on. It's only 6 episodes, but boy, oh boy, these 6 episodes are going to go fast because this first episode felt like 20 minutes. It felt like a 20-minute episode of WandaVision. But essentially, it was really 45 minutes. But it was really good. It was really, really good. I loved how it started off. Sam Wilson is working with the Air Force again. He encounters Batroc, and I was like, oh, nice little throwback to Winter Soldier. Batroc the Leaper is returned into the MCU. Best believe we'll see more of his character moving forward. But man, let me tell y'all something. The action sequences filmed for the Falcon was incredible. Astonishing stuff. Amazing flight sequences. The Red Wing. Where was this Red Wing in Civil War? This Red Wing could do it all, and it was fucking badass. I loved, the Starkerized tech that he has. It's really evolved as a character, and he was just whipping ass in that opening sequence. It did not disappoint. Did not disappoint. And I love the fact that Sam kind of went back to his roots. He's not with the Avengers anymore. He's working with the Air Force. You know what I mean? But he does encounter Don Cheadle, a.k.a. Rhodey. And they're kind of at this, I don't know what it is. It's not really a memorial because is Cap dead? Nobody really knows what happened to Cap. They didn't really kind of explain what happened to Captain America. So I was like, where is Cap? Where is Steve? Because he's an older man. Did he pass away from old age? Nobody really knows. They didn't really clarify that. But it starts off with Sam donating the shield to wherever he's at. And I'm like, damn, so he legit doesn't want to become Captain America. He doesn't want the burden that comes with the shield. So he's afraid of it and he's running from it. He'd rather be Sam Wilson, aka the Falcon, instead of the Captain America, which leads me to believe with the whole, U.S. agent and John Walker, that they're looking forward to reclaiming that title, but with somebody else. And I was always worried about how U.S. Agent and John Walker, how they were going to be introduced into the MCU and what the motive was. And, is he going to get the super soldier serum and things like that? So I'm like, what the hell's going to happen? I'm like, Sam, you donating this shield only gives them the right to now reclaim a different spot or a different person to really have, to come in and step in for the mantle of Captain America, since Sam did not want to take up that part. So I'm like, man, this is going to bite you in the ass later, and it definitely did. But then we cut to Bucky Barnes, and we see what he's doing. Oh, first of all, before I get into that, I love the whole combo between, Rhodey and Sam. I thought having Rhodey in this series is such an excellent choice. I mean, he's worked with the military before, and Sam too. To have these two, really have this awesome and strong conversation, I think is very powerful. And I love, when two black actors will be able to, have, a joint, screen time. It's just awesome, especially, Don Cheadle. He's one of my favorite actors, man. This guy's so good. But moving forward, you have, Bucky, and he's having these dreams and these flashbacks of him as the Winter Soldier and him killing people. Like I stated before, he's struggling with his past. You know what I mean? The only sense of calm he said he had was in Wakanda, and that's it. And right after that, guess what? He had to go back to war. So every time he gets his mind back, it's always something that picks up. Something happens, and he has to go back into this war mode that he's always in, and I definitely feel for it. It's very emotional. I mean, Bucky's there sitting, and he's talking to this therapist, and you just feel for him. He's like struggling with it. And the therapist, she has military background herself. She was a soldier, so she understands. She's calling him out for all of his bullshit that he's trying to, throw at her. But man, what a powerful, powerful moment, man. I love when we dive deep into the mental. Dive deep into the mental of Bucky Barnes. I mean, he's such a complex character, and he's been pardoned by the government, which is huge, because a lot of people were like, well, is the government going to be after him because of how, of his previous past and him being the Winter Soldier? So what's going to happen with that? Really love that. He got pardoned. So now he can start up a new life, but he's struggling with it. He's struggling with his new life. You know what I mean? It's such a great story. Such a great story. And you fast forward within his story, and, he has this list, and he's trying to do better, and he's taking this old guy out to lunch, and because of the backstory when they revealed what happened, I was like, damn, so he killed his son, and he doesn't even know that. This old man is he's hurt inside because of the death of his son, and he just wants to know why his son died, and his son was killed by Winter Soldier when he was under the Hydra mind control. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, damn, that's powerful stuff. At least he's trying. At least Bucky is trying to make right. And I like that. I really do like that, with Bucky in this series so far. I think that's an awesome future. And then you fast forward a little more, and you also have, Sam, talking with his sister and his nephews. And I was like, oh, man, this is the family good stuff. This is the backstory. And I love the fact that this is, partially filmed in Louisiana. I was like, oh, beautiful stuff. I love the whole farmhouse. I think it's a farmhouse or whatever kind of house that is in Louisiana. I love that it's big. I just love the whole feeling of it. And there's backstory between him and his sister and how he blipped away. And then his sister's in all kind of debt. They're trying to save this boat and, trying to get a loan. I was just like, man, this is great character building moments. Stuff we didn't get prior to Falcon and the Winter Soldier because there just wasn't enough time. You know what I mean? It was always a side character in all of Captain America's movies. You know what I mean? So there wasn't that, that necessarily backstory that was much needed. You know what I mean? But I guess Kevin Feige and Marvel Studios kind of always knew that they were going to go down this route, and they can explain the enriched backstory of Bucky Barnes and Sam Wilson. But I really loved the whole dynamic between Sam and his sister. I thought that was really great. I really enjoyed that aspect of it. And then, man, by the end of this episode, never trust your government. Guess what? All of a sudden, they announced they have a new Captain America, a.k.a. U.S. Agent John Walker. And then Sam is just in disbelief. He's like, what? And I think that's where Bucky comes into the second episode, and they finally meet, because Bucky and Sam did not interact in this first episode. Bucky's probably like, well, what is this? A new Captain America? I thought Sam was going to be it. I haven't talked to Sam because you've been ignoring his calls. He's probably been struggling with the whole concept of him trying to become the new, Captain America that Steve left for him. So I like that aspect of it, man. Now it's on Bucky's radar, and Bucky doesn't really like the idea, I feel, of a new Captain America because Steve was his best friend. And, he saw Steve pass the mantle to Sam. Like, what are you doing? Like, he passed this mantle to you, become the new Captain America, and you just blew that shit off and just gave the shield away. And all of a sudden, guess what? We have U.S. agent John Walker. Great stuff, man. I really enjoyed this episode, you guys. It was 45 minutes, but it felt really fast. Cannot wait to dive deep into the next 5 episodes. Yes, there's only 5 episodes left, but this show definitely is on a great pace, and I really love it. But post your comments down below. Let me know what you guys thought about the first episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Thoughts and opinions, you guys. Peace.